In 3, 2, 1. What do we have here? Macy's? Macy's? At least a couple of Macy stores in San Francisco biting the dust. Macy's? Yes. I'm reading this right. Wolfstreet.com. Wolf Richter. The fate of 2 shuttered Macy stores in San Fran. Do you remember a video I did earlier this year? Titled something like, "Get the effing hell out of California as fast as you can." Do I need to say that again? You can't even live there anymore. It's so outrageous. Prices of everything. Housing especially. But rent is high too. And I bet, if I had to guess, I have not even read this article. Not even like the first paragraph. I already saw the title and I'm like, that's going to be one for sure to do tonight video. I'm going to assume, and I could be wrong, but I'm going to assume somewhere in these paragraphs I'm about to unleash on you, it has something to do with massively high rent that killed even a store like Macy's. That's my guess. The collapse of brick and mortar retail becomes a real estate question. Caught up in the middle of brick and mortar retail meltdown, Macy's announced wave after wave of store closings. Wave after wave, wave after wave. The 100 store closings it announced in August 2016 included Macy's men's store in San Francisco and its store at Stonestown Galleria in San Francisco. Macy's owned... wait a minute. Hey, I said I could be wrong. Too high of rent. I said I could be wrong, right? That's my way out of this right now, so I don't have to stick my foot in my mouth. Macy's owned the buildings, both of them. This will bring Macy's store count in San Francisco from 3 to just 1 store. Huh. That's how bad the meltdown is, he says. Macy's is symptomatic for the retail brick and mortar sector. There have been thousands of store closings across the U.S. over the past 2 years. So what will happen to buildings and malls when big anchor stores are shuttered? Other locations may not be so lucky, if that's the right word, as the 2 Macy's locations in San Fran. Is it just me, or does every time when you say San Francisco, does not an automatic thing about the Rice-A-Roni song come into your head? The San Francisco treat. Like every time I see that word, I just want to stop and say it. I just do. Sorry about that. Because this ain't no San Francisco treat. This is a kind of a nightmare. You know, trick or treat. This is a trick. In January 2017, Macy's sold its 280,000 square foot store in Stonestown Galleria for $41 million to Mall REIT General Growth Partners, since renamed GGP, whose shares have plunged, by the way, 26%. Since the end of July 2016, the North Pole, Papa Elf. According to the San Francisco Business Times, which has obtained the plan submitted for the project, GGP. I want to love you, GGP, pretty young thing. I need some loving, GGP, tender loving care. Shout out to Michael. Shout out to Michael, baby. So GGP is planning to redevelop the store into something. Again, the scary words. Different this time. GGP is planning to subdivide the location into a multiplex cinema, a grocery store, and multiple smaller retail spaces and restaurants. So let's see how easy it is going to be to make this work. A multiplex cinema is a brick and mortar installation that competes with streaming videos, Netflix, Amazon, DVDs, bootleg versions, Everyone and His Dog, and other movie theaters. However, my buddy David just texted me a little while ago, hey, did you hear about Cody and all the little add-ons for the Android TV are getting sued and this and that. I have not. It said they're getting sued, and some of them have already shut down. Phoenix, I think, has already shut down some of their apps. Anyways, according to The Numbers, which tracks data on the movie business, 1, the number of actual movie tickets sold in the U.S. peaked in 2002, not a typo, at 1.577 billion tickets. By 2016, the number of tickets sold had dropped 18% to 1.301 billion. Number 2, number 1, number 2, number 2. But ticket prices soared by 49% over the period, from an average of $5.81 in 2002 to now $8.65 in 2016, and even more if you're in San Francisco. 3, due to higher ticket prices, ticket revenues rose 23%, from $9.16 billion in 2002 to $11.29 billion in 2016. But even price increases haven't been enough. Since 2012, revenues are up by only 1.9% in total. In 2017 so far, revenues are flat with 2016, so they haven't even increased. On a side note, this is precisely why companies, the Fed, and mainstream economists cited in the media clamor for more inflation. Price increases allow companies to inflate revenues and profits, even though they actually sell less. And consumers whose wages don't keep up with those price increases cut back and go to the movies less often, but still pay more. So the Stone Town's future brick and mortar multiplex movie theater is going to face this environment of slowing ticket sales and relentless competition from online movie sales. By the way, pro tip from Jason and 4, when you go to the movies, you, your kids, whatever, go on the weekend. Or if you're able to do it during the week, that's up to you. But go on the weekend before, like, I think 11 a.m., 12 noon, and you get the discounted price. And hardly anybody's there, which is even more beautiful. So you don't have to see 30 phones being screwed with while the movie's on. The future grocery store faces other dynamics that are tough and getting tougher. The entire grocery store sector is caught up in a price war, as you've heard recently. Big German discounters Aldi and Lidl are expanding in the U.S. Amazon is also muscling into it via its purchase of Whole Foods. Online grocery sales are gradually gaining momentum. Yet, adjusted for inflation, food sales in the U.S. have been flat for the past 6 years. Speaking of this, I'm going to give you the biggest pro tip of barbecue sauce you've ever heard. You can only buy it online. I've never seen it in a store. I got this little tip when we were in Tennessee at my boss's smokehouse. The barbecue sauce is called Blues Hog. The original flavor. Don't screw around with the other ones. You're wasting your time. Blues Hog Original. You can get it on Amazon. You ain't never put some barbecue in your mouth with that type of flavor barbecue sauce on it. You have never. Trust me when I tell you that. You can get it online. And yeah, there is some high fructose corn syrup and some molasses, and I'm willing to take one for the team on that stuff. Let me tell you something. Speaking of Amazon sales, you can get it on Amazon. Online grocery sales are gradually gaining momentum, yet adjusted for inflation, food sales in the U.S. have been flat for the past 6 years. And chain restaurants, the most likely type of restaurant tenant in a mall, are going through their own recession that has now lasted 15 months. Maybe structural. Maybe. I think 15 months in a row is enough to say it's a done deal. So challenges abound for the future use of Macy's old Stone Town store. Brick and mortar retail, whether clothes, movies, or groceries, is going to be tough. The 263,000 square foot, 8-story building of Macy's men's store faces a different fate. It's in the Union Square area in the center of San Francisco in a prime location. 5 floors used to be occupied by the men's store. The top 3 floors are office space that was occupied by Macy's West Coast headquarters, which was shut down in 2012. The office space has remained vacant ever since. In November, Macy sold that building for $250 million. The deal closed in February. The property will be redeveloped into a mixed-use retail destination with updated architecture. The new owners intend to redevelop the building into art galleries, high-end restaurants, and flagship retail, with Union Square being San Francisco's flagship retail area. The upper floors will house office space, and as Biz Now put it, a rooftop amenity with panoramic views also is under consideration. We hope to create a must-visit experience where fashion, food, and commerce come together with a multi-level indoor-outdoor environment. They expect to complete the redevelopment by 2021. The area swarms with locals working in the area or using the BART station nearby, and with tourists itching to spend money, most likely money they don't have, or to buy things they don't need. Unlike Stonestown, that only a few errant tourists might stumble across. So maybe this one stands a fighting chance. The fate of these two buildings shows how buildings can find a second life when big retailers shutter stores. But it won't be easy. And it will only work for some locations. There are other Bay Area examples. In 2014, Sears sold its 6-story, 85-year-old Art Deco building in downtown Oakland for $25 million to Lane Partners, a Menlo Park real estate company, which sold it to Uber in 2015. Uber has started extensive renovations and plan to move its headquarters along with 2,000 to 3,000 employees from San Francisco to the remodeled building. These plans have now been scuttled. As of March, Uber might only move a couple of hundred people to the Sears building. The rest of the building will be leased to other companies. These locations are in expensive, densely populated areas. The property will always be valuable, though maybe less valuable than today. And these buildings will always find some use once redeveloped. But Class B and C malls in outlying areas may not have that luxury. Their buildings may have to be torn down before the mall can be repurposed into something else, such as housing, stadiums, or overflow parking lots for car dealers that sit on too much inventory, if you know what I mean, or vacant land hoping for better days. Investors who currently own these malls with an iffy future are losing the revenue stream as retail tenants shutter stores and go bankrupt to get out of their leases. Malls are highly leveraged. That debt typically comes due after 10 years, much of it over the next few years. And if buildings have to be torn down, the land value alone might not be much of a consolation for the creditors that will end up with these properties. So, I think this is just a smidgen more proof we're just not looking good in this country. We're just not. Donald Trump is not going to be able to reverse this. I hate to say it. I want him to. I want him to be, like he said, we're gonna win so much you're gonna get tired of us winning. And he's won some of his battles recently, which is great, but the president can't just do that. He's not the owner of all these companies, right? All these policies of the other politicians that drove the businesses out of here because they can make so much money, more money overseas. Now, as I said, even China is subbing out their work to places like India, and someone told me another one today, one of the Vietnam or something. I forgot what they said. People are getting too rich in China. They can't afford that slave labor they got. It's too expensive. They're going to ship it somewhere else. Now they're subbing it out. Basically, what I'm going with this is when a slave has a slave, there's something around the corner that ain't looking good. When a slave has his own slave, boy, I'm telling you, we got a problem here, don't we? My goodness. Take care.